The year is now 2025, and while next-gen consoles are here, something surprising is happening. People are still talking about the Xbox 360. But why? Is its nostalgia truly growing stronger, pulling us back into its golden age? I'm Mr. GVPsman, and in this video I'm going to go over why the 360's nostalgia is growing bigger. Alright, so I'd first like to talk about pricing. Years after the Xbox One was first released, Xbox 360 games started dropping in price. And well, that's because people started focusing on newer consoles. And obviously, if there's not a high demand, there's not a high price. But I've noticed something. In the year 2025, prices are starting to go up for Xbox 360 games. And yes, I know, there's inflation, but it's also more than that. Part of it is because they stopped making 360 games a while ago. And now I know there are collectors out there who just like to buy the game and put it on their shelf. There are still people who buy the games and actually play them. And that number is increasing constantly. And I know this because when I hop on a multiplayer server, I notice that some of the numbers are growing a bit, but some of the games, they aren't. I constantly see people uploading YouTube videos and they're starting to blow up about them playing on the Xbox 360. Now, is this because people love playing on the 360 more than they love the new console, or is it because of nostalgia? I think it's both. Me personally, I play because I love that console and I love the games. There's just something about them versus games nowadays. But I also do play for that nostalgia feeling. Now, I do think a majority of viewers that watch 360 videos are just there because of nostalgia, so that they can get that old feeling of playing the 360 again. But I also notice that some viewers just go to those videos just so they can find other people to play with. Another thing that I've noted is that the year is 2025, which means that the console is now 20 years old. And I'm sure a lot of people have realized this, so they've probably looked up YouTube videos or they decided to go buy that console again. And I've talked to a few people about it being 20 years old, and their response was, wow, I feel old. And they all had one thing in common, their nostalgia for the games. They all talked about how they missed being a kid and playing those games all night long, even when it was past their bedtime. Another thing is that a lot of the servers for a bunch of these games are down. They're gone. You can never play ever again. But some of the communities gotten together and started hosting servers themselves. For instance, when Halo 3's servers shut down in 2022, a group of people got together and made something called Halo Sunrise, which allowed players to start playing Halo online again, which goes to show some of the love and dedication that the community has for these games. Which, by the way, I made a video showing how you can play Halo 3 online in 2025 if any of you are interested. I'll put a link in the description. But anyways, I feel like a lot of nostalgia nowadays for the console is because a lot of people who are Gen Zs grew up playing on the 360 and now are adults, which means number one, they have the money to pay for games or the console if they want to get it back again. And number two, now that they're older, they have a feel for nostalgia for when they grew up. But another thing I noticed is that a lot of kids nowadays who did not grow up with the console are starting to try it out, but definitely not that many. Part of that's because the Xbox One is compatible with 360 games, and a lot of kids nowadays, they have Game Pass, and in Game Pass they have a lot of 360 games. So a lot of these kids, I'm thinking, have older brothers or family members who grew up playing a bunch of those 360 games and have a lot of fond memories, which makes me wonder if that's what's getting them back into those games again. Well, what do you guys think? Has the nostalgia grown even more in 2025? Please feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to give me a like and subscribe. And as always, stay safe and keep it gaming.